Imagine a place where the temperature drops to 60 degrees, where for miles and miles there is no sign of human life. Imagine that in such a place, a doctor suddenly faces a condition. Without using any painkiller, without taking any sleeping pills, he is forced to cut open his own stomach and perform his own appendix operation. Now imagine that moment. While cutting into his abdomen, the intensity of pain inside his body, the smell of blood causing waves of nausea and vomiting, tears in his eyes because of unbearable pain, his entire body shivering in the 60-degree freezing cold. What do you think? Would such an operation be successful or not? In 1820, when Antarctica was discovered before the world, there was not even the slightest sign of human settlement there. No cities, no villages, only ice, silence, and a cold that felt like death. This land is so extremely cold that no living creature can survive easily. And for a human being, survival itself becomes a test. Soon after its discovery, the major world powers set their eyes on this white, barren land. Russia and America were the first to establish research stations, where research teams were sent from their respective countries. Living in Antarctica is not just about tolerating the cold, but even breathing, cooking food, and surviving each day becomes incredibly difficult. The most terrifying fact is this: it is the most isolated corner of the world, where no human population can be seen for miles. Here, even asking for help is impossible. This incident took place in 1961, when a Soviet Union scientific expedition was working at the Antarctic research station, Novolazarevskaya. Among this team was a young Russian doctor, Leonid Rogozov, who was the only doctor in the entire expedition. The Antarctic environment is extremely harsh and dangerous because of severe cold, snowstorms, and complete isolation from the world. Any kind of immediate medical help was impossible. With the start of winter, all ships and aircraft movement had completely stopped. One day, Dr. Leonid Rogozov began to experience severe abdominal pain, along with nausea and fever. The symptoms were clearly those of appendicitis. Since he himself was a doctor, he immediately diagnosed his condition. At first, he tried to control the illness with medication and rest, but his condition kept getting worse day by day. He realized that if an immediate operation was not performed, the appendix could burst, and his life would be in serious danger. The problem was that there was no other doctor in Antarctica, and it was impossible to transfer the patient anywhere else. The weather was so bad that even a rescue ship or aircraft could not arrive. Now there was only one way to save his life: to operate on himself. Dr. Rogozov showed extraordinary courage and determination and made the decision to perform his own appendix surgery in this unimaginable situation. It was a logical but terrifying decision. He prepared his teammates, who were not doctors, to assist him. One was assigned to hold a mirror to show the reflection of the surgical area, another to hand over instruments, and another to arrange a powerful light source. He clearly instructed them that if he lost consciousness, they must immediately perform artificial respiration, CPR. He used local anesthesia on the right side of his abdomen. As the anesthesia took effect, he positioned himself in a semi-reclining posture, and with the help of the reversed image in the mirror, he carefully made an incision on his own stomach with a sharp scalpel. Cutting into his own body was an extremely painful and nerve-shattering experience. Despite waves of pain and growing weakness, he remained fully focused as he carefully moved through the internal layers toward the inflamed appendix. This stage of the operation was the most dangerous. After about half an hour, while searching for the appendix, he had to stop several times due to intense pain, nausea, and weakness. At one point, while separating blood vessels, he became extremely dizzy and was close to losing consciousness. He immediately put the instruments down, took a few deep breaths, and regained control of himself. Pain and sweat were affecting his vision, but the fear of death forced him to continue. After nearly 2 hours of intense struggle, he successfully removed the appendix from his body and then stitched the wound himself, completing the operation. The days following the surgery were extremely painful, but gradually his condition began to improve. Within a few days, the fever subsided and the wound started to heal. After 2 weeks, he was able to return to his duties. This incident is still considered unparalleled in medical history. Dr. Leonid Rogozov's courage, professional skill, and self-control not only saved his life, but also made him immortal among the bravest doctors in the world.